Hello and welcome to the Tuesday Tell All. This is Driver Interviews with Bobby Fazio. I am Bobby Fazio, and it is Tuesday already. What's today? January 9th, I think. January 9th, yeah, 2024. All right, second Tuesday of the year already, and it is a crazy one. It's been a crazy week, stressful week. I'm going to try to keep this episode under 4 hours today because there's a lot to talk about. No, I'm just kidding. It's probably going to be an hour, and if it goes any longer than that, I get too tired and fall asleep. But we do have a lot to talk about. I mean, I'm telling you, this day wore me out. I shaved this morning. Yep, it was that kind of day. Ugh, my goodness. All right, who's here? We already got comments flying in. Bruce Folper. Yep, Bobby's on TV. Tell everybody you know. Happy Tuesday, Steve Bruce. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Hashtag the car show, baby. There's a lot new in stock and super stock this week, I should say. The grade points are accumulated before you can run a national. Well, that is done by running divisional events and national opens, and we're going to get into that. We are going to get into that. Ray, I think you did. Hold on. Let me double check this. There's Ray Thurston, and there's Walt right behind him. Let's go. Happy Tuesday. Ray, you get the trophy, my man. Boom. 40 Walt. Terrific Tuesday. Hey, Bob, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Appreciate it, buddy. Roy Scribner, hello from Oregon. How you doing? Happy Tuesday. Tom Gent, power just came on back in Mooresville. I'm telling you, it is so windy here right now. I mean, I'm like praying my house doesn't blow down. I'm glad we don't have any trees around the house. That's all I know. It's bad out today. What's up in the car show family? How you doing? Darian Houston, Scott Katz in the house. Terrible Tuesday in Class Racer Land. Oh, Raymond, come on, baby. We got to think positive. Jimmy Carter, Raymond, you sound like a Fazio. You're too negative. How you doing, Jimmy? Thanks for joining us. Tom Baker's in the house. Tom Baker, big supporter of the show, by the way. Dennis Chapman, what's up, buddy? Front wheel drive. Nick Ryder's in the house. How you doing, Nick? Nick's listening. Sam Murray. Months a third gone already. Hi, Bobby. I know. Can you believe that? Don Kennedy's in the house. How you doing, Don? Insure your race cars with Don Kennedy. Pete Lanciers, West Coast, San Diego. Got one of them dusters. Excuse me. AmCam 124. How you doing? Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Merrifield. Eric Merrifield's in the house. The Bounding Beagle truck super stalker, and he's got that gremlin too, and he's got a couple other cars, but the truck, man, that thing is on the bumper till 3:30. Tim Barrett, how you doing? Tim and Linda, 1 month to go for no problem. Darren Grossi is in the house too. Darren Grossi, the Grossi family out west. All right, how's everybody doing? Glad to have you all here. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Driverinterviews.com is the website. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you could. We're so darn close to 4,000 YouTube subscribers. I need to put out some more videos that I've been just taking way too long to edit. So that will probably help us get a couple more subscribers. If you need shirts, stickers, hats, any of the above, go to driverinterviews.com and hashtag the car show if you're on social media. At Driver Interviews is the handle if you are on social media. Tell all your friends. Lupe Tortilla, thank you, Lupe Tortilla, for stepping up and helping out this program, enabling me to get to a bunch of races this year to get some content. Texmex.com is their website. And, I mean, if you want some good Tex-Mex in Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Austin, all them Texas cities right there, dude, try that place out. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. Dragon Sites, check out your stats, check out your opponent's stats. If you're not doing this by now, you are definitely going to fall behind. Everybody's got a weather station. Everybody's researching. Everybody's planning for their races. Do not show up to the gunfight with a knife. I'm just saying. Right? I tell that to my SAT students that are going to take the SAT without their freaking calculators. What are you doing? Oh, God, that's why I told you I shaved today. It already came back. That's the kind of day I had. All right, app.dragonsites.com. At least get your free membership that lets you see your own stats. If you want a premium membership and you want to spy on your opponents like I do every day, then you got to pay the $50. The price is going up. If it didn't already go up, I don't really know that. I don't really set that. But hurry up and get in there. If you get locked in at that $50 a year price, you're locked in for like the next 3 years. So you might want to hurry up and try and slip through the cracks. Hurry up and get in there, all right? Contingency eligible as well. You get free membership, a free year or a free 6 months when you win or runner-up. And on top of that, Alicia's so generous. She sponsors Division 1, Dead On. She basically, if I have a good cause for class racing and I ask her for a few bucks, she's really like open to it. So if anybody has a good cause that they think that they want me to petition to Alicia about, let me know. Fuel Factor X, increase your fuel mileage, guys. Everybody knows how expensive gas and diesel prices are right about now, right? So this is advanced fuel treatment for any diesel or gas-powered engine. You can use it in your RVs. You can use it in your trucks, cars, generators, what have you. All right, Fuel Factor X. The link is in my show notes down there. Click on it and read all about it. It's on mydailychoice.com. It's a great product. Don Kennedy Race Car Insurance. Insure your race cars, guys. It's 2024, and the cost to replace any and everything is only going up, even though they tell us inflation is coming down. Don Kennedy Race Car Insurance, 602-284-6240 or 1donkennedy@gmail.com. He will take care of you, and all the policies are written through Haggerty Insurance, okay? Not some crap insurance, not the general, all right? PontiacEngines.com. Bruce Fulper, thanks for joining us, Bruce. Thanks for supporting us, Bruce. Founder of that 428 cubic inch Pontiac combo that people run and go fast with in super stock. We appreciate it. Kenwood Welding and Metallizing. We're just going to say that right now. Tom Baker supports this show, and we want to give him a shout out. So thank you, Tom Baker, for joining the show, and thank you, Tom Baker, for supporting the show. We really appreciate it. All right, let's get into it, guys. We got tons of comments flying in right now, and I don't want to miss any of them. Willie Mylan. Wait a second. I think he just celebrated a birthday. Is that am I accurate in saying that? If it is, happy birthday, Willie. If I'm thinking, if I read that correctly on Facebook yesterday. Jake Bierman, how you doing? Bring on the Gators. I'm ready for some stock and super stock action. So am I, Jake Bierman. Hello from Lake Havasu City, Dwayne Sheitlin. Dwayne, I don't know if you saw it, but Pomona video, stock video? I was calling Dwayne Sheitlin, Jack Zimmerman. I think I was calling Jack Zimmerman, Dwayne Sheitlin. So I apologize. I think I cleared it up in the video, in the editing room. Billy Ryder, how you doing, Billy? Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Appreciate it. Tom Mioli checking in from the left coast. Tom is also a silent supporter of this show. He is very takes care of me when I'm out on the West Coast. Took my wife and I out to eat last time I was out there. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. Russ Abrams, good evening from Michigan. How you doing, Russ? I hope it's not too cold there. Walter Gamble's in the house. How you doing, Walt? Thank you for joining us. Ed Carpenter, the Texan, comp eliminator, super stock too. I don't know what he's driving now, comp, I think. But hope to see Ed out there soon. How you doing, Ed? Good to see you. Alicia is awesome. Great customer service. She is very cool. She is a great person. I'm just letting you guys know. Sadly, her email was hacked last week, but she got that all squared away. Ray Minnick, the accountant, is in the house. How you doing, Ray? I'm going to need your services this year. A lot of unsportsmanlike behavior coming out of the South this last week. It's unbelievable. People tearing down instead of building. We need leadership. We are being failed. Couldn't agree anymore. Pete Ducko, how you doing, Pete? Out of Florida. Jake Melton, what's up, Jake? Thanks for joining us, buddy. Appreciate it. Rob Keister, there he is. Rob Keister is, Rob Keister is the light at the end of our tunnel right now, up in East Coast Super Stock Association. Jake's here. What's up from Crappy Cod? All right, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. Dwayne Sheitlin, I saw. No problem. Sorry, Dwayne. Jake's here. Cold New York, I bet. Eric Smith, how you doing? Brad Smith, all right. Thank you for joining us. Brad Smith, great guy. Awesome car, by the way. Thank you, Ray. My name is Bobby, not Booby. All right. Jamie Schoenley's in the house. He's got the Maverick. Wheel standing Maverick. How you doing, Jamie? My good friend and pal. All right, guys, there's a lot to cover here. We're going to start with, we got to lead in. The opening band is still on right now. We got the birthdays. We got a couple birthdays in the house. This is from the Drag Insights homepage. All right, so if you just log in, get your free account, hit the homepage, check out the race schedule. It's all on there. And the birthdays, user birthdays. We got Dennis Stewart on January 5th. Happy birthday, Dennis. Thanks for being a Drag Insights member. And Harvey Emmons, January 9th. That is today. Harvey Emmons' birthday today. I guess I could say that is the wisest of the Emmons clan, right? Harvey Emmons, I believe, because he's the eldest of the Emmons clan, also known as Speedy Emmons. Happy birthday to Harvey Speedy Emmons. He is not one of the triplets. He's he's the oldest brother, I believe, and then they're the triplets. Great family, by the way. Nice people. Happy birthday. All right. Maryland International Raceway is looking for a track manager. So if anybody is up to the task, that is out of Budds Creek, Maryland. Budds Creek, Maryland, down South Maryland down there. Beautiful facility, by the way, and used to have divisionals back in the day, I was told, but I think IHRA track now. So anyways, they're looking for a track manager. Maybe you can go in there and turn it back into NHRA. Who knows? And then we can all get another divisional here in Division 1 or 2, whatever. I think that would be Division 1, yeah, because Virginia's Division 1. Hey, we could really use that. Absolutely. If you feel like putting up with racers and managing in track, MIR is interested in you. Pat Clementi, what's up? One of the coolest class cars in the country right there with the Ford Galaxy. Mike McMahon, how you doing, Mike? Dwayne Hoven, the other cool Maverick, coolest. Jamie and Dwayne have the two coolest Mavericks in the country. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that. They both do huge wheelies, and they're both really cool cars. Mike Sheehan, hello from rainy, snowy Michigan. Oh, man. And Denise Houston, how you doing? That's Darian's mom. How are you, Denise? Thanks for tuning in. Jake Bierman, what's my racing plans for the season? I will be in Gainesville, Jake, and I hope to see you there. Make sure you come and say hello. Louis Gill from Canada. What's up, Louis Gill? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Appreciate it. All right, I got to switch to some sad news out of Division 1 as well. Glenn Hartzler, longtime stock eliminator racer. I've raced against him more times than I can remember. Passed away recently. So very sad news. He was a big supporter of the East Coast Super Stock Association and raced most of the divisionals in Division 1 as well. I believe he had a 70s Plymouth Barracuda. I believe that's what he had. But he will be missed, man. I can't stand this kind of news, and just knowing that I will not see Glenn Hartzler at the track again just makes me sad. You know, I feel like I just talked to the guy. So rest in peace, Glenn Hartzler, and prayers for his family, and hope that they're getting through that tough time. All right, as you all may have heard, the Class Racer Nationals is coming back to New Media Dragway in July of 2024. It's going to be on Wednesday, July 23rd, I believe. No, July 24th. Wednesday, July 24th, 2024. Class Racer Nationals put on by Ken Mealy and Timothy Fletcher. So put that on your calendars. If you're going to come out to New Media, it's a chance for you to pick up some cash running that race and get 2 grade points. There's a divisional and a national open all in one weekend. You can hit 3 races in one weekend up in the mountains of New Media. Very pretty track, I must say. Very nice views. All right. What else? Oh, yeah. Okay. Here we go. Like I said, Rob Keister is the light at the end of the tunnel when I say Dave Lay, the longtime tech director for Division 1, also had the East Coast Super Stock Association. That was his association for 30 years, I think it was, something like that, maybe even longer. But he is stepping down. He's retiring. I would have to think that the closure of Atco Dragway probably had a little bit to do with that. That was just a great place for us to get together and run our combo races there. So unfortunately, Dave Lay is stepping down, and it looked like association racing was pretty much done down in this part of Division 1. I know there's association races up in New England as well, but this is down in New Jersey, down in Pennsylvania, in the tri-state area down here. Well, Rob Keister, the mastermind behind the .90 Association, Mid-Atlantic .90 Association, is bringing it back. He's going to bring it back to Cecil County Dragway for a 4-race series. There's not going to be series points involved, but there are going to be 4 races. They're going to be 2 doubles. The first one's going to be May 18th and 19th at Cecil County Dragway. Mind you, that is the weekend after our first divisional. Our first divisional is May 10th and 11th. And then you can leave your stuff there and run this the stock super stock combo on May 18th and 19th. So it sounds like a good deal. And then the second weekend for it will be August 3rd and 4th, which is kind of when our ACO divisional used to be. And doesn't seem like there's anything really going on in Division 1 at that time of the year. So this is Cecil County Dragway. This is the fastest track in the whole country. I'm just going to put that out there. If you want to see how fast your car can go and you want to run it all out with no AHFS penalties at these combo races, and if you're a spectator and you just want to see good class racing at a track that is very, very fast, and you will see cars running fast and doing big wheelies, this might be where you want to go. Cecil County Dragway. It's in Rising Sun, Maryland, May 18, 19, and August 3 and 4. More details on that later as they come in. That's all we know right now. Thank you, Rob Keister, for getting that back on track for us. We appreciate it. All right, we had some news come out the last 2 days. Okay, the class eliminations. All right, now for anybody that is unaware, because people have been asking me that are new to this podcast, and I'm happy that they are joining us and learning. We run stock and super stock. We run eliminators where we, could dial in against an opponent if we're not in the same actual class weight break, or if we are in the same class and weight break, it is heads up, first car to the finish line wins. There's no dial in, there's no breakout. Well, we also have these side races, these bonus races that take place at national events and now divisional events and now national opens, where it's strictly class eliminations. So all the pairs of same weight break class cars. So I am in stock eliminator in the silver Mustang over my shoulder on that side. It's hard when you're mirrored, is an M stock automatic. So I would be paired up against another M stock automatic car, and they just turn us loose. First car to the finish line wins. There's no breakouts. There's no handicaps. That's what class eliminations are, and it's the best kind of racing there is. It's the easiest to understand. It's where people really, let the engine hang all out there, because you have to get to the finish line first. There's no handicap system where you can kind of put it in a different mode that's a little slower and conserves parts and promotes longevity of the motor. Well, those races used to be contested at national events as a bonus race. They're not doing that anymore. The only national event that's going to have such class eliminations are going to be at Indy, U.S. Nationals, and at JEGS Sports Nationals, which are considered national events, but there's no pros there. So to me, they're a glorified divisional. There's really not a huge crowd there. When I think national event, I think nitro cars are going to be there. I think a big crowd's going to be there. And I envision us running class on Friday in front of the big crowd, which was then moved to Thursday and the quotas reduced, and then which is ultimately moved to divisionals. All right. To add, I would say add insult to injury, for Division 1, we were running our class eliminations at the Keystone Nationals and at the Epping, New Hampshire national event. Stock would run at one, super stock would run at the other, and it would switch from year to year. This year, they've taken our class eliminations in Division 1 away from those two events, those two national events. We were like last division standing when it came to class at national events. Division 1 was. No more. We're going to run our class eliminations at the Dutch Classic, which is a national open. That's not even a divisional. It's a national open in October, stock and super stock. Now, this has its pros and cons. Me always wanting the bad news first, I'll give you the cons, okay? The Dutch Classic has been dying a slow death as of late. It is not a prestigious event as it was in years past. I mean, many years past. It did, even when I considered it not to be that prestigious anymore. Just like I was fortunate enough to win the Dutch Classic 2 times, in 2012 and 2016. Okay, lots of cars there. There was no lack of participation during those years. There were lots of cars in super stock, but it's like you won, you got your picture taken. There was nobody there to see it. There was no contingency money. You got your check from the tower, and that was it. And if you were lucky, you got in the National Dragster, and if you were lucky, the results were posted on like Drag Race Central, because opens just are not. They're just NHRA's best kept secret for some reason that I can't figure out, and much to the dismay of a title sponsor, I would think. The cons, then, there's no crowd. Who's going to watch us? Who's going to be there to see it? The class eliminations, right? What else are the cons? Well, the cons would be tech is a little lax at national opens. There aren't too many teardowns. There are cars that show up that you don't really see throughout the year. There's no AHFS penalties, so you can go really, really fast with a car that's not seen all that often, come in and win class, and then leave, and nobody really sees that car again for the next year or so, okay? Those are the cons. However, no AHFS could also be one of the pros. Now, class doesn't have to be contested with that nervousness, with that fear of going too fast and getting a weight penalty the following year, okay? So that's one of the good things about it being at the open. You can go as fast as you want, and there's no penalty for going as fast as you want. At the Dutch Classic in the past, you got a plaque for winning class. Well, many class racers really, we cherish the Wally Trophy. And for anybody that doesn't know, that's these trophies back here. The little guy with the helmet and tire. All right. You get those for winning class. So we were unsure if we were going to get those at the Dutch Classic since you always got a plaque. But we've gotten the confirmation email today that says you are going to get a Wally for winning class at the Dutch Classic. There's usually contingency for winning class. Okay, it's not what it used to be. You used to win a lot of money. I would say like $1,000 or more. Some people used to say $2,000 for winning class at the Gator Nationals, right? That is no more. I won class at the Gator Nationals 2 years ago in Superstock, and there were 4 manufacturers paying that I had stickers for, and I got $400. I got $100 from each of them. That's pretty cool. I'll take it. Paid my entry fee. At the Dutch Classic, though, there's no contingency at National Opens, so we don't know if there's going to be any contingency money for the class winners. So that is, again, that's a con yet to maybe could become good news if we hear word on that. So if anybody knows anything about that, let me know so I can report it. Other than that, I don't like where class eliminations are headed. I really want them to be at national events in front of the crowd. With the reduced quota, class eliminations were turning into a bit of a joke, for lack of a better word. When you have a 50-car quota and you're running class eliminations on a Thursday in front of no spectators, it's really not, you're not going to have much competition. There's not a lot of racers there, and it's just not, it's not as fun to watch as it will be to watch at the Dutch Classic. That's for sure, because there is no quota. As many cars want to show up, can show up. You could have 200 cars in stock and 200 in super stock, and it's an all-run field. That went hand in hand. Low quotas with the class, with what a thread on Class Racer is calling the demise of class racing. That kind of went hand in hand, and it's sad to see. I don't like it. I think we're taking steps backwards by having class at divisionals. All right, it's not my thing. Until we can start getting crowds at divisionals, and we as racers have to work on this, okay? And you got to ignore the naysayers, and you got to work with your track, okay? Tell them, propose to them ideas. Maybe you guys can get spectators if you do this. Maybe you can get more spectators if you do that. Maybe we should try this, okay? We're going to have to take it upon ourselves to try and help these tracks get spectators so they can watch us run divisionals and national opens. Now, I'm going to try and take it upon myself to increase the crowd, the spectator count at the Dutch Classic. Okay, we got to try and turn that into a mini national event. That's the only way we're going to get sponsor interest. Okay, that's the only way we're going to get contingency sponsors interested in paying us for class and or eliminator wins. They're not going to pay if there's no eyes on us. And people that say we need more contingency sponsors without following that up with, we need more people watching us, they have no clue what they're talking about. They just don't understand how markets and money work. I'm sorry. Or advertisement. So you can't listen to those people, and you can't listen to the naysayers that go on the threads and just say everything's terrible and nothing's good and NHRA doesn't care about us and blah, blah, blah. These are just talking points to get likes. Don't hit the like button on that stuff, okay? That's all that is. It's pointless. It's useless. It's wasted keystrokes. All right? Take it. Take it from me. I'm telling you the truth. All right. Since I said the demise of class racing at the Nationals went hand in hand with quotas being reduced, let's get into quotas and the somewhat of a disaster that took place this past week for the Gator Nationals entry list. Before I get into it, though, I want to just get to a couple more comments. There's a lot of people commenting right now, and I want to get to them and give myself a drink of water here. All right, so hold on one sec. All right, it's just the beginning. I'm fearful that pride and egos are ruination of all great things. You need leaders out there willing to fight for those who support them. That's what I like so much about class racing community and NHRA community. At least they can work together in peace and just focus on racing and helping each other out. Racers definitely help each other out. They absolutely do. However, when racers get on forums and when racers get on social media and like to, there's just something about racers. I guess it's because this racing stuff beats the hell out of us. Some people just, they get moody. They want to hear themselves complain. They just like to say certain things that really don't accomplish anything. Rob Keister, we are finalizing sponsors and payouts right now and should have something announced soon. All right, Rob, you keep us posted, buddy. Mark Sargenti, how you doing, Mark? That's the car owner of that beautiful 65 Mustang behind me. Ed Carpenter, basically eliminating class at national events besides Indy is a bad move by NHRA, in my opinion. It's sad, really. I agree with you, Ed. I agree with you. I'm hoping you heard everything I just said in the last 5 minutes. 5 combo races a year at Bowling Green purses, $2,000. Starting line is great. All right, guys, you got options if you're in Bowling Green, Kentucky area or surrounding. Darian Houston, it costs more to run these events, but it's worth, in my opinion, to stay away from illiterate drama and blatant disrespect towards racers and their families. That's no good, man. Yep, come to NHRA races. We love you there. It's too cold. You need to move it to spring or summer. What's that? The Dutch. The Dutch is a gamble. The Dutch is a gamble. There's nothing better than a national event, Wally. And you know what? Darren Poole Adams, how you doing, Darren? Made a great point on the thread that said, you know, I don't know if he already got one or he said he always wanted one, a Gator Nationals class Wally. And now I think it says, you know, Baby Gators or divisional race on it. So it's like getting a Gator Nationals class trophy is like history at this point, unless it comes back someday. I'm fortunate enough to have gotten one. Actually, I got 2. I got one in 2015 and 2016. 2015, I actually won. 2016, I was the higher qualified car because it rained the whole weekend. But yeah, they say Gator Nationals on them, and I'm glad I got them. But yeah, class at Nationals, man, I don't like where this is kind of headed right now. Class eliminations were canceled in 22 at the Dutch because of cold weather. The 2023, was it 22? Because in 23 we ran first round of it and that was it because of weather. The Dutch last year was the worst Dutch I've ever seen. So I think this is a way for them to reinvigorate the Dutch Classic. And I said they had to reinvent that race. I guess this was a way that they want to reinvent this race. But it is a gamble. October 25th to the 27th can be some of the best, fastest racing you might ever see, or it could be a rainout. Or last year, it wasn't really a rainout. It was just horrible weather. But I'll take that over a rainout. On a good note, the stands will be packed for class eliminations at No Problem Raceway. I heard that place gets a crowd, so I'm looking forward to it. Hello, Bobby and Gearheads. How you doing, Perry? Thanks for joining us, buddy. I appreciate it. All right, so let's get back to the Gator Nationals entry list disaster that happened. So for anybody that's not aware, you get grade points for racing divisionals and national opens. Every time you run a divisional or a national open, you get 1 grade point. So if you run 5 divisionals and 2 national opens, you have 7 grade points. Okay, after you get to 8 grade points, it doesn't matter how many you run after that, you're all considered grade 8. Okay, so the way a national event entry list works is about 8 weeks before, not 8 weeks, I would guess about 10 weeks before, grade 8 opens up at 11 a.m. on a random Wednesday, 8 weeks, 10 weeks before the race starts, okay? Grade 8 is allowed to enter. And it opens at 11 a.m. Eastern time, which is where I live. So at 11 a.m., especially for the Gator Nationals, everybody's like right on their computer waiting for the entry list to open up. And if you have 8 grade points or more, you're going to hurry up and try and enter your credit card info and submit and get in. And it fills up in like 2 minutes, if that, something like that. All right. So what happened was there was a glitch in the system and it opened up early. It opened up at like 7 o'clock in the morning. And some people got wind of it and started entering, and more people got wind of it and started entering, and the entry list filled up before it was even time to officially open. So it was just a bit of a S show, as you would say. So what NHRA did was they said anybody that has grade 8 or higher and is already in, you can stay in. The grade 7s and lower that got in, you're booted out, and then tomorrow we're going to try again, reopen it at 11 a.m. Eastern time, and we're going to actually add 10 more spots. Where there was a quota of 60, now there's going to be a quota of 70. So they added 10 more spots, and at 11 a.m., that opened up, and the 10 spots filled up like that, and that's basically what happened. Now, racers that are very, very loyal to NHRA and have many, many grade points didn't get into this event, and I think that's wrong. Okay, I know some racers that have 11, 12, 14 grade points that were trying to get into this event and just couldn't get in. So I feel like there's a little bit of a flaw in the system. There are also situations where people with 8 grade points or more enter a race that they have no intention of racing, and they wait until grade 7, grade 6, grade 5. Now, these open in subsequent weeks. Every week, another grade opens up. They can save that spot, and then when grade 2 or grade 1 or whatever opens up, they have the ability, it's not guaranteed, but they can withdraw and, have their buddy who has a grade 2 or grade 1 enter, and that's how they save spots. And there's rumor that people are selling spots and doing things like that. It's really not guaranteed because quotas can overfill by a little bit. If you were last year's event winner, you are guaranteed entry at that event. If you are a past world champion, you are guaranteed entry at that event. So it is professional courtesy to be a world champion or a previous event winner. They are kind of expected to wait until grade 1 opens up or a little bit closer to the event to then enter, so they don't take up quota space when they're guaranteed, and it lets other people get in that are trying to get in with grade points. However, if former world champs or former event winners enter and take up quota space, now the quota being 70 is pushed up to 72. If you're trying to save a spot for somebody, you need 3 people to drop to get it back down to 69 so you can enter. It's not a guaranteed business, okay, of saving spots. So you got that going on. You got reduced quotas. You got a whole bunch of stuff going on here. And let's just get into like basically part 2 of this podcast tonight, which was me thinking about last weekend, a revision to the grade point policy that helps benefit racers, loyal, invested racers, and helps benefit NHRA as well. When I propose things, I try to think it through where it benefits racers and NHRA, because chances are maybe they'll go for it. All right, they're the ones that make the rules, not me. I just propose stuff. It's the off season. There's nothing to talk about. So this is why I do this. Some people take this to heart. Some people get mad. Some people send me messages that are like they're out of their minds. They can't believe it that you would propose something like that. Dude, chill. Okay, this is for content. This is for ideas. This is for you to say, maybe not that, but how about if we did this? This was up for debate. This wasn't the end all be all. So goodness gracious. All right, so here we go. My thinking was, all right, grade 9 and above. If you got 9 grade points and more, you should be guaranteed entry into a national event. All right. The reason for that is where we live in Division 1, you can't get 9 grade points without traveling out of division. Okay, we have 6 divisionals and 1 national open, being the Dutch Classic, if you want to stay in the United States. If you want to travel to more opens, you got to go to Canada to get grade points, or you got to travel out of division to hit a divisional or somebody else's open to get grade points. All right, so you having to travel out of division just to get to the 9 grade points, you know what? You earned your stripes. You should be guaranteed entry into a national event. Okay. Other divisions. Okay. So Division 1, it's very difficult to get 9 grade points unless you want to go to Canada or out of division. Division 2, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 divisionals. I don't know how many opens they have. Their open schedule is not up yet. So Division 2 sounds like it might be somewhat difficult to get grade points. I know that they throw an open on the end of like a Galat divisional. I know they throw those in there randomly. So is it easy to get 9 grade points in Division 2? I don't know. Division 3 is the easiest to get 9 grade points. Division 3 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 divisionals, including a Jeg Sports Nationals, which you get a grade point for. Plus, they have 5 national opens scheduled for 2023. So if you do live in Division 3, you have the opportunity to get 12 grade points without leaving your home division. So Division 3's got it made. Division 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 divisionals, and I don't know their national open schedule. Division 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 divisionals, 5 national opens. Division 5, you got the opportunity to get 11 grade points. Excellent. Good for you guys. Division 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 divisionals. Don't know their national open schedule yet. Division 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 divisionals, 3 opens on the schedule, and Division 7 gets the award for having the best website, the only divisional website that doesn't look like it was created in 1998. All right, so looking at that, I think racers with 9+ divisional grade points should be guaranteed entry, and former world champions are already guaranteed entry. Okay, so here's my proposition. If you have 9+ grade points, you are now considered a grade 0. Okay, grade 8 opens as normal. Grade 7, grade 6, all the way down to grade 1. Grade 0 opens up the week after grade 1. So you are allowed, that's 5 days prior to the Monday cutoff. All right, you are allowed to enter right then and there. And it's not just a 5-day window. Okay, so what I said was, if we're afraid of the grade 8s and world champions afraid of forgetting to enter, they can enter when grade 8 opens. They just won't be added to the list or the quota until grade 0 opens. Okay, so all former world champs and racers with 9+ grade points, grade 0 guaranteed national event entry. Grade 0 opens the week after grade 1. That's 5 days prior to the Monday deadline. Grades 8 to grade 1 schedule and entry remains unchanged. Racers in 2 classes have the option to combine their grade points, which we already can do now, in an attempt to reach 0. If I have 5 grade points in stock, 5 in super stock, I can combine that to get 10 grade points, putting me at a 0, guaranteeing me entry in one class. I can't enter a second one. If I want to take my chances with grade 5 and grade 5, I have the opportunity to do that too, if I really want to try and get 2 cars in. Racers would still have to run divisionals and opens to secure the grade points for the following year. You just can't say, I got 0. I'm a grade 0. I can just run the whole national event tour this year and not even worry about running national opens and without worrying about running divisionals and national opens. Well, that's not going to help you next year. You're not going to be able to run any nationals next year because you're going to have 0 grade points. So you have to still go out and get your grade points. Now you're enticed to try and get 9 grade points. I would stop if I'm having a shit year. I shouldn't be saying that. If I'm having a bad year and I'm not in the points chase and I hit 7, I might go out and try to hit an 8th one, hit the Dutch, whatever. Try and get my 8th grade point and just stop there. Well, now if I know I'm guaranteed entry with 9 grade points, I'm going to go out and support another race that I might not have supported and help another track make a little bit of money and help NHRA make a little bit of money. So now it's enticing racers to go out and hit more races that they might not hit, right? That's what, if they want people to start hitting more divisionals and opens, there you go. Like I said, to prevent the grade 9s and former world champs from entering in their 5-day window, they can enter when grade 8 opens. They won't be added to the list or the quota until grade 0 opens. Withdrawal rules and deadlines remain unchanged. Monday before the event at 2 p.m. I think you have to withdraw by that time. Otherwise, you lose your money, and that's it. You have to enter by that time, or you can't get in. Okay, and all the other stuff remains unchanged. Now, the whole reason for me doing this is, we just eliminated anybody with 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 100 grade points from saving a spot for anybody. We just eliminated that. Okay, we eliminated world champs from saving a spot for somebody. Okay, we just eliminated that. Right? Can grade 8 still save spots for people that are grade 2s? Yes, they can, if they want to take a chance on it. It might work. It might not work. That's up to them. But now you have to be exactly a grade 8 to enter at grade 8. Okay? So there we go. We just reduced a lot of spot saving and selling. Did we reduce all of it? Did we eliminate all of it? No. We can't. It's impossible. And people that are trying to eliminate that whole process, as much as I would love, people to work on an honor system there and not do that, you can't. And you got to be careful what you wish for when you start asking NHRA to eliminate it, because I don't think we're going to like the solution that they give us. All right? I really don't. because it's going to be no more withdrawals. It's going to be probably, all right, non-refundable deposit to enter a national event. Okay, so you got to be careful what you wish for when you talk about, eliminating the spot selling and saving and all that crap. Okay. All right. What else? Let me see here. Rewards the racers that are going the extra mile, right? Miles, many miles. Okay. The loyal customers, people with 14 grade points that hit so many races, they should be guaranteed entry into a national event, in my opinion. Okay. Also, what I like about it is it keeps the entry lists from coming in under quota. I always thought that was bad when we were coming in under quota because people were withdrawing at the last minute. They're entering on day one, and then Monday before the event, they're kind of just like, nah, you know what? I entered in case I wanted to go, but now I don't want to go anymore. Well, now that grade 9 pluses and world champs and everybody, they're not really like going to be added to the list until 5 days before, or some of them might wait to enter until 5 days before. I really don't see a lot of people entering 5 or 4 days before an event only to withdraw. Okay, so I think this is going to prevent us from coming in under quota at certain races. Other races, this isn't even going to be in in effect, because there are certain races that come in under quota like all the time. Okay. All right. So this brought up, obviously, a lot of support. I got a lot of messages that were like, dude, that's a good idea. That's a pretty flawless system. I like it. Every time I thought of like a caveat, you kind of answered it in the next bullet point. All right. But it also brought up people that questions and caveats that people think, well, no, there's going to be some downsides to that. All right. So let's go through some of these downsides, if you will, and I'll see if I can answer them. And if not, we'll see if we can tweak them. Okay. So first downside was parking. Parking is going to be an issue. You are going to have too many grade 9s that are entering at the last minute, and NHRA is not going to know how many cars are going to be there. Okay. And that's going to affect the parking. And some people are saying 150 grade 9s out there are going to enter this event with 5 days left to go. And because everybody knows exactly how many grade points everybody has, I guess. I don't know how many grade points my friends have, but that's okay. However, if there are 150 9+ grade point holders in this country, I guarantee you the 9 pluses, okay, the now grade 0s and the world champions from Division 7 won't be entering the Gator Nationals. From Division 6, they won't be entering the Gator Nationals, okay? And very, very few people from Division 5 enter the Gator Nationals. I do say that the Gator Nationals is probably the most desired out-of-division race on the national event circuit, second only to Indy, okay? Indy, though, has a very large quota. Indy draws the most racers from out of division, but Gainesville is probably the most desired race to hit aside from Indy. Indy's got the quota for it. Gainesville doesn't. Okay, and then I think third place I'd have to give to St. Louis in October because it's a national and then a double divisional right after it, and that brings a ton of cars in. So Gainesville is where this system would probably be in play. Indy, I don't know that system would really have to be in play. Any of the national events on the West Coast, I don't think it would be in play. Okay, let me tell you how many races came in under quota last year. All right, so last year the Gator Nationals had a quota of 50 cars. Thank God it's got a quota of 70 cars right now for stock and super stock. Phoenix only had 42 super stockers last year. I don't think this would matter. Okay, Pomona had 50 super stockers, 58 stockers. I'm not sure what that quota was, but I think that came in just a little bit under it. I think it was 60. Vegas had 72 stockers and 54 super stockers. Again, coming in under quota in super stock. So grade 1s, so far, you're fine. You all got in super stock, aside from the Gator Nationals, I should say. You all got in super stock on those 3 left coast races there. Okay. Charlotte, 45 stockers and 39 super stockers. Again, super stocks coming in under quota. Stock, though, not so much. All right. 34 super stockers at Epping. All right. 48 stockers. Epping, I think it's a non-factor, this system right here. Bristol, 48 and 44. I think it's a non-factor. Norwalk 50 and 50. That tells me 50 was probably the quota there, and that's kind of a joke. All right. Bandamere, rest in peace. They came in way under quota. Seattle, way under quota. 34 and 21 cars. Sonoma, 30 and 24 cars. Non-factor Seattle, non-factor Sonoma. Topeka, 50 and 39. And I think Topeka, rest in peace, they're not coming back. Brainerd, 54 in stock, 42 in super stock. Okay. As you can see, there's a lot of races that this is going to be a non-factor at. Let's get to the races that it is going to be a factor at. It's going to be Gainesville. Okay. Gainesville is going to be our main point here. And everybody's afraid that too many cars are going to show up under the grade 0 umbrella, but I don't think there will be. Okay. Now, here's the deal. Gainesville, the 2023 Baby Gators. Okay. Now, everybody's saying if we just let all these grade 9s come in, we could have 80 to 100 cars. We'll be racing on Tuesday. Or they're saying if we let all these grade 9 pluses in, guaranteed, they're going to lower the quotas to 20 cars. Okay? Speculation. It's speculation. Will they have to lower the quota a little bit? Probably. They're not stupid, guys. I mean, you're giving NHRA credit where credit is not due, and you're not giving them any credit where it is due. They know the history. They know the Gator Nationals has been around for like 40-something years or whatever. They know the average number of cars that show up to this. So would they tweak the entry list a little bit? Possibly. Maybe they would, right? But we just reduced all the 9s to 15s from saving spots, and we just reduced all the world champs from saving spots. If they want to enter at grade 0, and they do, and it takes the quota from 50 up to 80, then that's fine, okay? Because last year at the Baby Gators, we had 99 stockers, right? We had 88 super stockers. Okay, obviously, the two most heavily populated classes at the Baby Gators. That right there should justify them opening the quota up a little bit for stock and super stock. Why they don't, I don't understand. They see where their loyal customer base is, and repeatedly, it's stock and super stock at the Baby Gator Nationals. They should be opening the quota up for the Gator Nationals in stock and super stock, but they don't. All right, so if you're all afraid that letting those grade 9 pluses in is going to take the quota up to 80 to 100, we can do that with no problem, right? Because all the other quotas are going to be, 74 super comp cars at the Baby Gators, 76 super gas, 72 super street. Super street's not even at the Gator Nationals this year, so they're gone. 33 top dragster, 36 top sportsmen. If they're not showing up for the Baby Gators, are they going to show up for the Gator Nationals? Even though if they have grade 9s and the guaranteed entry. I don't know that they will. I don't think that they will. They would be coming to the Baby Gators if they had that much interest in coming to Florida to run. And only 17 cars in comp at the 2023 Baby Gators. Grand total of 521 cars at the Baby Gators last year. Okay, now everybody's afraid of a parking problem, and everybody's afraid of scheduling conflicts, and we're going to be racing on Tuesdays. Don't forget, guys, this is the Baby Gators, 521 cars, and we ran class in stock and super stock. Okay, that takes a lot of time, and that race still finishes on time, right? 521 cars there at the Gator Nationals. Okay. Including the pros, including all the sportsmen, 437 cars on the premises at the Gator Nationals. So we had 521 there for the Baby Gators, 437 there for the Gator Nationals. Let's address parking first. Okay, that's what's 521 minus 437? Anybody got a calculator? What is that, 80-something? 84, I think. 521 minus 437. That's 84 less rigs there during the Gator Nationals than the Baby Gators. Okay. Well, the Gator Nationals has the midway. It's got the pros. They bring all this stuff. Yes, that's fine. I hear you. I don't think the midway is even a tenth of what it used to be back in the day at previous Gator Nationals. They aren't getting the car counts that they used to get at the Gator Nationals by far. They're not getting the number of pros, not pro stocks, top fuels, all of that. They used to get so many more cars. They used to get probably triple the comp cars. And I know they were taking way more sportsman cars back in the day. Okay. Parking isn't an issue at the Gator Nationals. You can park anywhere at that place. They just keep loading you up in the back. All right. I don't think it's a big deal there. Another thing. All right. Like I said, 84 less cars. Everybody is like on this kick that we were all, the other argument is that that everybody's got a stacker and a motorhome and everything, and that all just happened in the last 2 years. Like everybody is like parking is so bad now because everybody's got huge toter homes and motorhomes. Dude, I started bracket racing in 04, and everybody had a motorhome at the track. Like 90% of them were bringing it to the bracket races. I started class racing in 08, 09. And everybody seemed to, 90% of the people had motorhomes and big rigs and big trailers. This is nothing new. And we were taking a lot more cars at events back then. All right. Well, people are bringing 2-car garages to the track and stackers and blah, blah, blah. Good. That saves room. If somebody shows up to the track with a trailer that holds 3 cars in it, that's saving space, right? That's better than 3 motorhomes and 3 trailers coming in. And that's taking up 3 spots on the list. So I don't think it's a parking issue. And I don't think it's a scheduling issue. I don't think we would be there on Monday or Tuesday. I think we could knock this out. And I'll tell you why we can knock that out. Because we did 521 cars the week before. Okay? 437 cars. I know it includes pros and qualifying and the circus. That's fine. I think 84 less cars is a lot. Only increasing those quotas up to 80 to 100. And I don't even think it would be that high. It might be in stock and super stock, but I don't think it would be in the other classes. I don't think it would add that much to the schedule. All right. Now, they don't have time to plan for parking. Somebody said they don't have time to plan for parking. If you let all these grade zeros in at the last minute, how is NHRA going to put together their parking map? Again, you're not giving them any credit. They've been running this race for how many years? They know on average who's coming. Okay? They know where people are getting parked. And on top of that, every single divisional and every single sports national and every single national open in the country, the track has no idea who's coming until Friday morning, all right? Or Thursday, depending on if it starts that day. And they seem to get us parked. The JEG Sports Nationals in Columbus, Ohio, 586 cars showed up that Columbus had no idea, were coming. And they got them all parked. And on top of that, they ran class. And on top of that, this is a double. And they did it in 2 days. And then they had to do it all again for the divisional event. So 586 cars going down the track and completing an event in 2 days with class eliminations tells me they can get a lot more done in the schedule than they say they can. And last but not least, how about this? The St. Louis double. Double again, 2 days, 2023, 672 cars on the property for the divisional double. That means they had to do that 2 times in 1 weekend, and they got it done. Okay? 140 stockers at that event. And you know how many they took at the national event just prior to that, knowing, and they should be able to look at these past numbers here, McFly, stock, 140 cars entered. Super stock, 97 cars entered. And to be fair to Super Comp, 124. And to be fair to Super Gas, 120. Okay? Cars showed up. And you know what the quota was? Let's see what they had at St. Louis last year. 55 cars in stock, 57 cars in super stock. All right. I don't think that's wise. All right. I don't think it's right, I should say, because there's so much interest there. 119 stockers and 117 super stockers at that Columbus race at the JEG Sports Nationals. Okay. So I don't buy the whole there's not enough parking argument. We just didn't start driving motorhomes and trailers 2 years ago, okay? This has been going on for a very long time. Let me get to some comments because I know I've been ranting and raving over here. The quotas have to be increased for class trophies at national events to be real meaningful. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Talked to Sven Gross last week. He said you can transfer grade points from Super Street to Super Stock when the SR is ready. I thought in Super Street you could only run Super Street with grade points, but I guess that's a new rule. Been reading on Facebook, a lot of tracks are switching to IHRA. I don't know why that is. Does anybody else know? Why do you think the management within the NHRA divisions does a good job of hearing and responding to sportsmen? Or do I think that? I think they do. I think they respond promptly. They don't always respond with the answer that you want to hear. New Media has a national open too. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I'm sorry, I messed up. New Media has a national open. So we in Division 1 get 2 national opens in the lower 48 states. And the other 10 or so are in, the other 13 or so are in Canada. Okay, Division 2 has 5 open events. All right, so you guys have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 5 opens. You get a chance at 11 grade points. Division 4, 7 divisional and 1 national open. So D4 would have to travel out of division to get that 9th grade point. Plus a sports nationals, if that's a grade point also. There it is. So you are in luck. That should get you that 9th grade point. Easy to get 9 in D1 if you cross the border. I think Cayuga has 2 race weekends where you can get 4 grade points. Opens at Numidia and Dutch Classic. Lots of opens in D1. I've never crossed the border. I've never even been to Canada. I can understand what your plan is trying to do, but I just see NHRA lowering the quota from 60 to 30 to allow room for the guaranteed entry people to enter. They are not going to raise the quotas. I just don't see it. Well, I don't expect them to raise the quota, and I do expect them to lower the quota a little bit. I'm sure they would have to. I can't expect them to lower it too much. I mean, it was at 50 last year. So if they lower it to 40, that's fine. Grade 8s would have a very good shot at getting in. Grade 7s would have a good shot at getting in. Grade 6s would have a decent shot of getting in. Grade 5, probably a pretty good shot of getting in. Grade 4, a fair shot at getting in. Grade 3, 2, and 1, probably not a very good shot at getting in. Okay, and that's just how it goes. And then the grade 0s would all come in at the end. That's fine. That's good. That's better than people entering, saving spots, being on there for, for their buddy and then withdrawing at the last minute. We reduced some of that. However, we won't come in under quota ever if they reduced it to 30, which is a good thing. And I don't think it should be easy for grade 1s and 2s to run national events and 3s. They haven't raced enough. And if it was easy, everybody would do it. So it's just something that you're probably you're gonna have to race more if you want to get the grade points. It's just the way it is. All right. We don't know that they would reduce the quota. We are just speculating. Good evening. He was out. Casey Miles, what's up? I do not believe D7 has a current national open schedule yet. The 3 Bobby Red were in 2023. All right. Let me know if they come back in 2024. Zupka, why do you think quotas are so low now? TV time with the national events. And we get down to 4 cars on Sunday, which I've never liked. That, and I think we've outgrown some of the tracks with our 80-foot rigs. But, Steve, I thought we've had 80-foot rigs since I've been racing for 15 years. I don't think this is anything new. Great point. If a quota doesn't fill, NHRA is like, they think we need to lower it when it doesn't fill. And it's not filling out in the West Coast. Now, all right. It will be 3 to 5 grade 0s per popular national. I think you're right, Walt. I think people are just assuming grade 9s from all over the country are going to enter races that they have no desire to race. And this totally eliminates that. The Norwalk quota was 50 last year, and that's a desirable race to go to because people just like going to that track. I think 50 is a joke there, and they need to look at what that divisional brings in. Bad weather forecast has a lot to do with last-minute withdrawals. It does, and if they allow it, that's fine. Did I hear about them tearing down Memphis Motorsports Park? I did not. That's sad news, though. And I saw 3 other tracks closed. Only the Cottons will travel to the Gators from D7. That is almost exclusively about Gainesville. And now that it's opening, now that's the opening event even more so. Right. And to be perfectly honest, I saw Mike Cotton on the list in Superstock. He's not on the list in stock. And Paula Cotton's not on the list in stock either. Okay. And I can only speculate that they probably have way more than 9 grade points apiece. And I think they are fully vested in NHRA drag racing. They have earned their stripes. They deserve to be in a national event of their choice. Okay. Quotas are probably lower because of the weather. Epping and Charlotte both had weather that the entries dropped. If I remember correctly, they gave people a longer time to withdraw from Epping. I do think Epping was a bad weather event, and they continued it later on in the year. Extra grade point if you only bring a truck and an open trailer. No, but how about better parking? Good, like maybe closer front row parking if you got a truck and trailer. I think that's a cool idea. Don't quote me on that. I didn't think it all the way through yet. Why is all this even an issue? People act like this is nothing new. Like you said, these races have been happening for decades. It's just something else for people to fight over and complain about. You have to have a passport to go to Canada. Good call there. Let 20 enter over the quota and fight to race. All right, that brings me to my next point. People are suggesting let's take 80, let's take 90 and qualify 64, okay? And they're sending me this message like I haven't been asking for this or preaching about this for the last 2 years, okay? And even Brian Anderson, because he and I presented this on live television, mind you, not live TV, but on a live podcast to NHRA when we had them on the show. It was I think it was Lonnie Grimm. We had a podcast where we specifically said, can we start taking 80 plus cars? Can we start opening the quota up and qualifying 64? Okay. It lets more people get in the event, and it doesn't affect your schedule at all because 64 cars are showing up for first round, and it allows the AHFS to work. Okay. So anybody that's messaging me saying, why don't we do this? Believe me, I've already tried. Okay. They won't do it. We asked them. They won't do it. They said it hurts the little guy. It hurts the slower car that might not want to come. That was their answer. Okay. Some people say, well, too bad for that little guy that isn't fast enough. He or she needs to work on their combo, or he or she needs to pick another combo, or he or she needs to pick another category to race in. Okay. Those are not my words. Those are words that I read on the forums. I don't know. You could argue that until the day you die. However, NHRA made a decision on that, and we're not going to keep pressing on something that they already said no to. So we're going to try other avenues for increasing quotas and getting more people in the event. Okay, so that answers that one. Joliet filled up quick last year also. All right, and then Joliet, Chicago, let me see, had 53 stockers and 55 super stockers. So it either went over the 50 quota or it had a 55 quota and a couple of people dropped out. Get one. They allow Mopar guys in Canada. Not from what I hear, right? The Cottons are heading to the Invitational. All right, so they got the invite to that. If anybody has an invite list, can we just get this out in the open at this point? Why is this a big secret? Casey Miles usually gets a spot up front because of the size of his van and trailer. I know the size of Casey Miles' rig. It's pretty cool, by the way. Eddie, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining, man. Hope you're doing well out there. All right, so we covered my answer to parking. I don't think it's a big issue, and I don't think it's an issue at the races that are in question here, being Gainesville and being St. Louis and being Indy, which already has a quota of like 140 to 160. I don't really know. They have a lot of parking there, and I think they are sounding like they're going to build even more. All right. Now somebody says, why don't we just get rid of grade points altogether and have no quota? Well, that's not even realistic. Sorry, we can't do that. You can't have no quota because that's just impossible. And you can't get rid of grade points because then there's no incentive to run divisionals or national opens. Okay, so that's not going to work. And then there's the people that just say, NHRA doesn't care about us and they're not going to change anything. And they hate us sportsman racers. And I don't want to even be at national events anymore and blah, blah, blah. And the people that say that on the forums, it's just, you're wasting your time. You're putting that negative energy out there. They see these forums. Why are you letting them see it? You justify what they do. They don't have to change anything. If you, especially the racer that says that, goes on there, complains, and just knocks NHRA into the ground with those complaints, and then we're one of the ones that signed up for Gainesville at 7:30 a.m. when they found out the list was open. Okay? If you're going to bash NHRA like that and you hate them and everything's bad and the world's ending and I just can't stand racing anymore and I want to quit, but you sign up for events at 7:30 as soon as they open, you got a problem, okay? I don't know what to tell you. All right, we got to limit the negative energy. If you are angry about something, post a suggestion, okay? Post a suggestion that is, positive, that could possibly help and fix a situation and see if they'll go for it. All right. And if they don't, figure something else out. All right. I've been doing it for 2 years and, sometimes I feel like I'm getting nowhere either, but I'm not going to stop because I think our brand of racing is dying a slow death. If we don't do something to save some of these quotas, make these national events special again, make class elimination special again. I don't know where this is all going to go if it keeps going in this direction. All right, we got to do something, and putting all that negative energy out there and the negative posts that absolutely do nothing for anybody does nothing for anybody, right? Less than 20% of the races would be affected, still wouldn't fill. All right. Oh, and something else that made me laugh was on the Stock Superstock Facebook page that Walt Walker runs, by the way. Somebody said if we let in 100 and qualify 80 or 64, whatever, we'll be racing on Tuesday. And that didn't make any sense to me. I think it was Brett Kempner that said it. And I didn't get a chance to answer him, but no, that should not affect the schedule at all, right? 64 cars are showing up for round one, and there's no bye runs. And I mean, that's not going to affect the schedule at all. So I think he was wrong on that one. And he's a very knowledgeable guy, and he's right on a lot of things. Also, 64 cars fighting it out takes away the ladder games. I mean, I'm sure there's still going to be a couple for the people that can go fast, qualify, and still play ladder games. It takes away all the bye runs. It just, it's better for everybody, I think. So I'm a big proponent of it. All right, guys, a couple more comments. I'm getting winded here, and I know you're probably tired of hearing my voice. I'm tired of hearing my own voice. Keep your ears open. If there's any dropouts for Gainesville for Dad, he obviously has 13 grading points. Wow. And could not get in, but he will be there for the baby Gators. All right, guys, just all I can say is hawk the list while you're there at the baby Gators. If you see anybody break, if you just see if anybody's withdrawing over that weekend, see if you can sneak in. Build up, not tear down. Hit the nail on the head. Thank you, Darian. Appreciate it. What about us running in the stick classes that's supposed to be a non-profit organization and you pay membership, but you don't get no vote or say so, and they got a board of directors? I don't know how this whole vote thing got lost. I heard it was in like 1980. Everybody gave up their rights. I wasn't even alive yet in 1980, so I don't know how that happened. I don't know how they kind of pulled that over everyone's eyes. Maybe somebody with that was around back then can tell us. Walt Walker, ladder games for life. Indy is fun because there's no AHFS. You qualify to get in the Eliminator. Sure is. It is fun. It's the only national event where class is contested. Unfortunately, class is contested on Thursday, and no spectators are there yet. That's the only downfall of that. As a racer that had to win class just to get into the Eliminator, there were less than a third of the classes. That was tough. Yeah. And I wonder if they should bring that back too. I'm wondering if they should bring certain things back for like special events, like certain races throughout the year. Should you do that? Certain races throughout the year. I mean, maybe Gainesville is the one race where you try bringing in 80 or whatever, 100 and qualifying 64. You don't have to do it at every single event. Make a couple of them special. Gator Nationals is a special event. Okay, Indy is a special event. Pomona is a special event. All right, there are certain events that have been around for 50 years or so. Maybe make something special out of them. Maybe do something special at those events that you don't have to do at every single national event. All right, what do you guys think of that? All right, guys, if you have any recommendations, if you like or dislike my grade point proposal, comment and see where it could be tweaked. Okay, that's all I ask. It wasn't, I put it together trying to think of caveats, and I know I nailed a couple of them, but there are a couple that other people still seem unhappy about or still seem to think that problems have not been solved. So post your suggestions and let's see what we can come up with. We got nothing else to do right now. It's the off season other than work on our cars and get ready for the season. But as far as podcast material goes, that's good stuff. All right, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. One problem I see is when stock is called to the lanes, there are people that sit back. That eats time for the schedules. Well, that is a story for another time. Maybe we'll put together something that takes care of that problem, if you will. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. Thank you to all the sponsors that support this show. I really appreciate it. And support those sponsors that support me. Tell them I sent you. I really appreciate it. They really appreciate it. And let's keep this thing going. I'll see anybody February 8th to the 10th at the 30K Invitational in Bradenton Motorsports Park. Come say hello to me. I hope to see you guys there. If anybody knows this entry list, dude, let's put it out there. Let's get some stats going. Let's get a fantasy draft going, if you will, right? I'm looking forward to it. And good luck in February 16th, 17th is when Orlando Division 2 opens up. And who else? I think we got Division 4 opening up February 23rd to the 25th. Well, I'm saying good luck to you now like it's next week, but it's like a month away. All right, guys, I'll see you many times before then. Have a good night. Take care. Stay